Hey everyone, I just finished a recording of the reaction to the info dump from the developers. So this is going to be a quick breakdown video. I'll be sure to pause and hopefully make some edits if need be. So instantly, as you saw right there, let me just go back to it a little bit. Zarbon, Dodoria, and Frieza are all going to be in the game, and it's going to be one singular unit, as we'll see in a moment. What's really surprising is this, though. Let me go back again a second. Dang it. Hold on. There we go. This. We have, obviously, like it's just said for Frieza, but we also have Bojack and Deborah, of all characters. I was not expecting Deborah. But that is really cool. I'm glad he's in the game. I'm so happy that they're still adding, like, niche characters that aren't just, like, big faces. So that's really nice to see. It's still 4v4, and as you saw right there, it'll come again. Um, Frieza had Zarbon Dodoria with him, and then this is a new attack, which they'll get into in a moment. But it's basically a way to deal with the God of Destruction. It sounds really interesting. There's a lot of changes coming that are honestly really exciting. Alright. That's Frieza's ultimate.
Things are only getting started. You're about to find out what it's like to fight a real Super Saiyan. I'll show you what happens when you underestimate.
And the next thing is this. So, Caulifla is in the game. To me, this is super exciting. I am a massive Universe 6 fan. And Kale is actually my favorite character in the game. So seeing that Caulifla is in the game gives me a lot of hope that Kale is as well, which makes me very, very happy.
Hi everybody,
Gekishin
Skip ahead
Squadra
a bit.
is the first ever team-oriented
I'm
Dragon
gonna
Ball
put on
game
some,
that gives
closed
fans
captions.
from around the world the freedom to play as their favorite characters in a multiplayer battle. Each player.
So here's, for example, some updates to UI here. Oh, I just realized they have Majub! Oh crap! I didn't even realize that they have Majub, who's an attacker. Okay, that also confirms Bojack and Deborah are attackers. Got it. Um, we have these new icons up here, which I'll get into later in the video, but they're kind of like special, randomly chosen battle gimmicks at the beginning of every fight. Other than that, I think everything else is pretty much the same. No new items. But that's exciting. Bajub! Oh, that's
The hero character
huge!
to engage in a 4v4
Anything here? Nope.
battle.
No new support
Level up your
shown.
characters by defeating enemies and utilize the skills and powers
Alright.
unlocked throughout the match. In the main rule, players will fight to grab experience even when the skill gap between players may seem too large. Don't worry though, players with a deeper understanding of the game will have an edge over others. But we've made intentional design choices that incorporate many different variables to provide a varying experience between matches.
So that I'm a bit worried. On one hand, I'm happy because I'm going to be playing the crap out of this game, obviously. But for someone who's like new coming into the game after it's been out for like a month or more, they might struggle a decent bit due to that fact. But here's hoping, obviously, it's not like that and it's pretty good for everyone. And yeah, also one of the big news, but we kind of already knew about this due to a leak. The game's official title is Gekishin Squadra. Um, I kind of think I think Dragon Ball Multi would have sounded just as good, if not better. But this is a new title, so this is what we're going to start calling it.
to make Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra more enjoyable for everyone, we are working on expanding support beyond the mobile and PC version to
Let's go here real quick. So this is a big thing that people were kind of worried about. Was is this going to be on systems like Xbox, PlayStation, etc.? And the answer is yes. And not only that, they have crossplay support and crossplay save support. So let's say, for example, you're playing on PC or console, and you're going out like out of town or something like that, and also you can't take your computer with you or your controller. If you want to play the game still, you can load your save data onto your phone and play where you were on your PC and or console. And also, it works between all three of them. So that is a huge, huge improvement. That is going to be so nice to be able to not have to worry about what system you're playing on.
on a mobile device outside. Doing a network test
And then
from June 12th
this is
to June.
huge. There is going to be another beta starting on the June 12th, and it goes for 4 days. Though it's not long; it's only 4 days, but we're still getting a small beta. So be sure to you know wish list the game on Steam or whatever the case is on whatever device you're on, so that way you can get into this beta. Because we want as many people as possible in this beta to make sure that all this works out.
16th. There will be additional character from last year's beta test, so keep an eye out.
And that's a nice little bonus there too, is that the characters they're showing here in this trailer are most likely going to be in the beta test, so we'll be able to try out a lot of new
We've
characters.
received a lot of valuable feedback from our players during the regional beta tests we held last year. Our upcoming network test will incorporate improvements based on these feedback.
Examples of some of the feedback we received include positive impressions on the overall graphic frequency of matches against CPU opponents.
So this was one of the biggest, if not the biggest complaints that I think I heard and personally had with the game when it had its closed beta was it felt like 9 out of 10 matches were just bot matches. Maybe it'll be like one enemy player, but like majority of the time it just was bots, and the games were super easy, and it kind of got a bit boring and repetitive after a while because you just stomped the bots. They had really bad AI.
The unfair advantage from the bonus of defeating the Great Ape, and of the blandness of matches, feeling like the same repeating experience. Let's start off with the Great Ape. The Great Ape
Now
was
this is
designed
a
to intensify the
huge
flow of battle,
change. Now let's
bring
skip
matches
forward
to
a
a
little bit.
comeback mechanic ended up being a source of frustration for many players. Because of that, we've removed the Great Ape from the map from the network test. We're currently exploring
So yeah, as you heard Toshi say, the Great Ape's gone. It's just not gonna be there anymore. No, this isn't permanent. This is them testing it out in the beta, in the demo, basically. See, is this a good idea? Because, like you said, the whole idea behind the Great Ape and similar mechanics, like comparing it to Pokemon Unite, the Rayquaza or Zapdos, is it's supposed to be a comeback mechanic mainly. Like the losing team, if they're able to get it, they're able to make a comeback. They're able to like actually do something and aren't just screwed over. However, the problem with it, as well as it is in Unite, is both teams can get it, and they both get the buffs. Instead of like, for example, the weaker team gets the buffs, but the stronger team just makes it so they don't get them. The stronger team would then also get the buffs, pretty much guaranteeing victory. And because your team, if you're in the lead, is usually ahead by a little bit in levels and such, most of the time you would just get it, and the enemy team just had no choice but to surrender or lose. It was kind of unfortunate. I know I'm a big fan of mechanic, but if done right, I think it can be done well. It could be a good mechanic to help teams make a comeback. But we'll see how it is without the grade. Maybe it'll be better. We'll find out.
alternative ways to reintroduce the Great Ape in a
I'm very
different
excited though,
form.
because that is a massive change.
Additionally, in order for us to provide a more varied gameplay experience, we are planning to implement two major updates. First, we are introducing a new system called the
So this is
Divine.
the
At the
divine
start
draw
of
is
the
what I'm
match,
talking about here. So at the start of the match, two special rules will be chosen at random that will influence the entire match. We don't know what all of these do yet. We only know what two of
two
them
special
do,
rules will be
being
chosen.
these two. Energy Bomb. Enemy heroes and NPCs explode when KO, blowing away nearby enemies. That can be a double-edged sword because on one hand, if you kill someone in a group, then the other person gets blown away and you can run away to heal. But it could also make you lose kills and make it take longer. Then the other one is Cell Juniors. You get a lot more EXP when you KO EX Cell Juniors, apparently. So I'm guessing some of the Cell Juniors at the bottom lane, or maybe it's on both lanes, get replaced with like a Golden Cell Junior or something like that. And when you KO them, you get a massive amount of XP. So that's exciting.
At random,
That
the
there will
rules
be these
influence the
mechanics, because
entire
that'll
match.
really freshen up
The rules
every
can
game
have
and make
all
you think
sorts of
differently.
effects. For example, one rule might cause an explosion to
Like, look
cause
at all
each
the
player to
explosions.
defeat it, far away or nearby
That's
enemy
gonna be so
players.
crazy.
While another rule might
Yeah, see,
spawn
like that.
random
There's
enemy
the EX
NPCs
Cyberman. Yeah,
and
see,
rewards
that's
a
what I
lot
meant.
of
Soul Junior.
experience
Yeah,
to
it's a
defeat
gold
it.
Soul Junior.
By
Oh,
introducing
yeah, that's a lot
different
more
rules to
EXP.
each match,
There's
we
some
hope to
gameplay of
bring
Deborah just
more
flying
variety
by.
to the gameplay experience.
Oh, okay.
Secondly, we're
That's something
adding
else I didn't
special
know
To
either.
bring more
Back here.
variety
That's just apparently one of the cards where if you destroy an environment, you probably get health pickups. So that would be huge in
to
team
the
fights.
gameplay experience.
Ooh, okay.
Secondly, we're adding special actions, specifically for damaging the
The
Gods of
Gekishin
Destruction,
Burst.
the
That's what the
Gekishin
purple
Burst.
attack is called.
With this implementation, Gods of Destruction will be immune to rush attacks and skills. Attackers will need to strategically use Gekishin Bursts, while defenders will have to protect their gods while trying to strike back at the attackers.
So just a quick summary in case you didn't fully understand, because I was a bit confused at first. Basically, no longer when Zeto's at the God of Destruction, you can't melee him or use your skills on him to do damage. You have to use that burst skill. That is the only way you can do damage. However, it isn't instant. Obviously, as you saw, you have to charge it up and then fire it at him. And I don't know if you can do it multiple times or if it's only once per player, like when Zeto comes around. Um, but it makes it so that when you're defending, it's a lot easier because they can't hit you and the god at the same time. They have to decide, what am I going to do? Am I going to try and damage the tower's god of destruction to try and get closer to the Dragon Ball while the enemy just pummels me while I charge it up? Or am I going to attack the enemies, try and get rid of them, and then attack the god of destruction, but now I have less time to do so, so I don't get to do as much damage? I think that's a really good change, and it's going to make battles a lot more engaging, I think.
We believe this addition will create a wider range of strategies and provide a more varied gaming
Like,
experience.
for example, a
That
good
covers
example of
two
that
of the biggest changes we're implementing,
could be like
but there are
Krillin and
other
his
updates
blinding
as well.
attacks, like Solar
So please
Flare and
experience
his
them for
Scatter Blast,
yourselves during the
where it
Discord
blinds the
cast.
opponent. That could be a really useful, like way more
We'll be
useful than
sharing
before,
further updates through
simply
our
due to the
post.
fact that they wouldn't be able to see you while you do your charge attack. But yeah, other than that, that is the last of the news. I don't believe there's anything else. Yeah. So overall, once again, network tests on the 12th. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they have an official Discord now. So be sure to go join that. I know I'm going to after this. I make this video. I hope to see you all in the game. Take care.